Okay, so hi everyone, I'm Nelson Reyes. I'm the co-founder of Project Colombia and Colectivo Creando. I'd like to start by talking about Project Colombia. We are an innovation agency here based in Bogota, Colombia. So I've had experience. I actually lived in the United Kingdom for 15 years. And I thought after 15 years, I thought, okay, I really have to go back to Colombia to kind of like to give back something to society. So I decided to come back about 4 years ago. And this is how actually Project Colombia started. You know, me coming back from London to Bogota after basically being really lost because living a long time outside the country, when you come back, you feel a little foreigner in your own country. So I decided, okay, I've always had this entrepreneurial mindset. So why don't I actually start working with my own ideas? And this is what I did 4 years ago. Again, like I said, I'm the co-founder. We initially at Project Colombia started working as an incubator, a social incubator. So basically we were training entrepreneurs, and we were providing academic training, we were providing innovation training, and also seed capital and business consultancies. So we started as a really small idea, but we're so thankful because we managed to grow. In a matter of 2 years, we had trained above 8,000 entrepreneurs, and we had provided seed capital to over 100 entrepreneurs. Also, we linked up with different universities around the world. So we were doing innovation exchanges and business and entrepreneurship exchanges. So we had people from Germany, we had people from the UK, we had people from the US, and from different parts of Latin America. So what is so interesting here is how we were actually connecting the world, coming here to Colombia to actually visit entrepreneurs. A lot of them didn't have a lot of resources. A lot of them were in difficult parts in Colombia, especially in Bogota, in the south of Bogota. So we were actually visiting these entrepreneurs, doing consultancy, you know, to the ones that had actually won the seed capital. Years later, we actually became an innovation agency. I went to study with my business partner to Barcelona. So we went to Barcelona, studied innovation strategy, and then we came back. And Project Colombia was not anymore an incubator, a social incubator, business incubator. We actually became an innovation agency. So in the last 3 years, we've been as in an innovation agency, and now we're supporting medium and big size companies. So we help them to innovate, we help them with processes, we help them with digital transformations. So we have two different pillars. So we have innovation strategy and management management and culture regarding innovation. So this is what we do at Project Colombia. So we have worked with different multinationals here in Bogota. We work with ministries because that's another thing. We are trying to go into the public policy and innovation in public policy. So how can we actually start changing public policy through innovation methodologies, through better ways to improve or be more efficient, faster, things that in the private sector we work and maybe it's a lot easier to explain, but so we were working with, again, with the public sector and the private sector here in Colombia. So this was going all well until March with the pandemic, when the pandemic hit Colombia and around the world. So with the co-founder of Project Colombia, we thought, okay, we were thinking, okay, because now we're focused on the private sector, but a few months before that, we were thinking to create something social. How can we actually put the elements of Project Colombia, which is a private organization, into something social? How we can actually bring this design thinking, innovation methodologies, like lean startup, design service, and the tools like service design. So all these methodologies, how can we actually bring them into something social? And then the pandemic arrived, and this is when we decided, okay, this is the right time to start creating something that we have been actually talking to friends and people that we knew that were interested in activism. As you know, Colombia is a great country, but also we have a lot of problems with violence. Um, it's very unequal, one of the most unequal countries in the world in terms of education. We're getting there, but still we have a lot of problems with connectivity. We have a lot of problems with equity, egalitarian entry, access, So we thought, okay, this is the right time. And this is how Colectivo Creando was born. So we were born out of COVID, and we're a digital movement. So I'm gonna share my screen now. So I really hope you can all see it. If you bear with me one sec. So, can anyone tell me if you can see?
Perfect.
Great. So we decided, okay, we're gonna get together with friends. I'm gonna start this, we're gonna decide, we're gonna create this movement called Colectivo Creando. So we are located again in Colombia. So who are we? Why do we exist? So we thought things have to be done in a different way, especially in Colombia. So COVID is a great opportunity. It will be a great opportunity for us to co-design and co-create the new Colombia, okay? So this movement, was born, and then right now we're about 100 activists, we're about 100 activists. So we started like 5 people, maybe talking to each other. Then we thought, okay, we are going to get more people on board, people that are leaders, people that like to have a really good impact into their own communities, and who believe that COVID, of course, it is very terrible. It's still very terrible for the health and for the economies around the world and all of these social and emotional problems that's causing. But we thought, okay, we're going to take it as an opportunity. So we started about 5 people, but currently we're about 100 people. A lot of them are leaders, professionals from different industries that got together, and this is who we are. So we took it as an opportunity to create change, to bring social innovation, okay, into Colombia. Why do we exist? Well, we exist because we feel that we need to be in charge of our own future, of our present and of our own future. I saw a very interesting presentation before me about Brazil, and I think it's fantastic. And I'm sure in Latin America we share the same problems, which is, well, we share the same blessings, but also problems. So blessings like the landscapes, the people, the passions, but also I'm sure we feel we share problems like health, corruption, really bad politicians. We share maybe like lack of efficiency and innovation. So we thought, okay, we can actually create change. So this is what we feel that we should exist to create value. How can we actually bring value, of innovation, digital activism, and design thinking and co-creation processes? So this is what we exist to add value around Colombia. We have people from really like different parts of the country. So we have people from the center, from the north, from the capital, from the countryside as well, because this is one of the things that we wanted to be very inclusive. So we said, okay, we really have to be inclusive and get people from different backgrounds, and from different parts of Colombia. So this is something that we have been doing since April. Obviously, like I said, we work on a full-time basis with Project Colombia. And I want to tell you about our co-creation process. So basically, again, like I said, we started 5 people. Well, it was me and my colleague, and then we started calling people, said, hey, would you like to be part of Project Colombia? Then slowly but surely, people were calling us actually when we were putting things online. So right now we're about 100 people. So what we did, we divided people into different topics. And then we started our co-creation process. So April, May, and June was a very busy period because we were meeting pretty much, we were working on Zoom, after maybe like 6 p.m. where people had finished their jobs and they could connect online. So we were dividing people into different groups because we have different um, topics and themes. I will show them to you a little bit after, but for now, so we were divided into people. We were here. This is what makes us actually different from other digital activists. We actually took all the methodologies of innovation, especially design thinking. So we started doing research about, the problems that we have, in Colombia and also in our local areas. We started also inviting um, our potential audience that we knew that they were going to be looking at our posts on social media, and we knew that they were really like looking at what we were doing. So we actually included them into the co-creation process, uh, alongside the members of Colectivo Creando. So this is not something like the topics that we developed. It was not something that maybe my colleague and I decided to just throw and everyone would work on it. No, Colectivo Creando is a group and it's a movement, digital movement, which everything that we do is co-created and is voted. So it's very democratic, so along, this whole process took us about 2 or 3 weeks to meet with every single team. And we were doing the phases, the different stages of design thinking. And if you think that 100 people is a lot of, a lot of people to manage, of course we were struggling in the beginning, but luckily, with the support of these amazing agile methodologies as well, we were also using Scrum, design thinking, and the tools that all exist in design thinking and service design, like blueprint, user persona, um, um, customer journey. So all of these tools were used to co-create this movement. Okay, so it took us about 3 or 4 weeks to come up, to identify the problems, then to do the whole process of giving potential solutions, then prioritizing the ideas that we will gonna execute, and this took us about 3 or 4 weeks. The good thing is that the people that are part of this are very energetic people who really want to create change. And a lot of them didn't know about these methodologies. Again, we know them because we work in innovation, but the great majority of these, when we were telling them about design thinking or the whole process of co-creation sessions and giving solutions, like brainstorming sessions, they were not familiar with it. But the good thing is that we were fostering within Colectivo Creando this type of agile thinking, creativity, and execution. So, so this is what we did, and I want to show you the different themes that we have at Colectivo Creando. So we have innovation and entrepreneurship. So for innovation and entrepreneurship, we have really great people here. We have entrepreneurs who at the time were struggling with their own businesses because of COVID. And then we have different entrepreneurs that are actually in this group. So a lot of them come out from the startup ecosystem. As soon as I call them, say, hey, we're creating this to create impact and change in Colombia, they're saying like, yes, I accept. We want to like create change in Colombia. So what we have done is, again, we come up with the potential, we identify the problems, and we came up with potential solutions. So we have done different digital campaigns, because we felt that, and we still feel that we entrepreneurs are suffering a lot. So we're not getting a lot of resources. We're not getting a lot of resources from the government and a lot of help. But again, we're entrepreneurs, so we have to really like be independent and really like sort out and solve our problems by ourselves. So we started helping a lot of local. First, we started fostering local products. So we're saying to people in our social media, hey, try to consume local products. And then we were showing them online. So we were actually advertising for free. This is all for free. We don't charge money at all. This organization is, it's just out of love that we're doing this and how we can actually create impact. So with innovation entrepreneurship, we have done, we have showed local products. We were fostering, again, how you can actually, whatever you consume, make sure is 0 kilometer, or 1 kilometer, or kilometer zero, or 0 kilometer, which basically means is that whatever you do, try and try and try and try to support our farmers, try and support our local entrepreneurs. And then what we're hoping to do uh, after is to go back to what we were doing with Project Colombia at the beginning. So hopefully become this group which will help entrepreneurs to get funding and to get seed capital and to get support. So we're planning to do training again to the people that are part now of our network of entrepreneurs, and hopefully try and provide them with seed capital funding, and hopefully help them along this journey, which is very exciting, entrepreneurship and businesses, but also is very challenging. Okay, so this is what we've done for innovation entrepreneurship. We're working with local producers, and then what we want to do in the new year is to actually provide seed capital and funding, because there are a lot of ideas, a lot of businesses that are very good but really require this, the resources. And then we have another group which deals with agriculture and environment. What is very interesting about this group is that we have farmers, or people that have been, the family members are still farmers, but have gone into the city and they've gone into university. And we have 2 or 3 doctors, PhD professionals that are part of this group. What we've done since we started is, in terms of agriculture and environment, we have done different campaigns, social media campaigns, and we have again encouraged sustainability, technology, and innovations. One of the problems that we have here in Colombia, and I'm sure in a lot of countries around the world, is that technology is not being put in place to actually be sustainable and be efficient. So we started talking about it. We started a campaign called "The Present and the Future of the Countryside in Colombia." So we analyzed what we're doing, as a country, where we are at the moment in terms of the countryside. So we were identifying the problems that the farmers have to sell the businesses. Also, we were looking at the levels of education, the levels of connectivity, inclusion, and we feel that this is the biggest obstacle that Colombia has. So if you want to really achieve peace and prosperity, we really need to go back to the countryside and really um, um, support our farmers, really support our farmers, because I feel that the Colombian conflict, is done or is being generated because of the injustices in the countryside. Okay, so the things that we would do, because also in the near future we would love to really co-create these new public policies and be part of this decision-making process. How? Through hackathons, through activities like that, what we're doing right now. So um, so this digital campaign maybe lasted like 2 weeks, and then we finished with a very interesting forum, digital forum, and we brought really good um, guest speakers to talk about the situations about the countryside. So we had an alliance. We have an alliance with TV producer. So they were actually showing us in a lot of parts in Colombia in the TV format, but also we were going on social media. So we were going on Facebook Live. So this is how we actually ended this campaign. And it was very interesting to have so many people watching us and actually commentating and helping us to co-create. That's another thing. When we did the forum, we were asking people, we were co-creating the questions. So all, Colectivo Creando is all about co-creation, and it's about moving forward, always putting first or putting in the center our users or people who we know that they will benefit from what we do. Okay, so in terms of education, we started identifying, because of COVID, a lot of the the children couldn't go to school, and connectivity, especially in the rural areas, is absolutely, I mean, it's so difficult. and it's really bad. So a lot of our students in Colombia were having to do the lessons through WhatsApp and through, different platforms, but it was very difficult for them because they don't have Wi-Fi, they don't have connectivity. So we started identifying the problems, and also in the new year we will do a forum in which we will invite the speakers to identify and again to help us to co-create all these things that we're doing, all these amazing ideas that we have, we've received from our the part of the people that are part of our group of education. And we're getting feedback from teachers, rural teachers. We're talking to them, they're actually sending us videos. This video will be released in early January, in which we will do something similar in terms of education and what we did with the environment. Come up with really good ideas, and hopefully um, at some point sit down with decision makers and say, hey, this is what we do. And maybe we should put really, because one of the problems with the public sector here is they don't listen. And as we know, all innovators, one of the main pillars of innovation is empathy. How we can become more empathetic, and how can we actually listen and not assume things. We don't have to assume things. We should go and ask our potential users and clients what is it that they want. So this is why we need to take into account co-creation and the co-design. So with inclusion and gender, things we have been doing really interesting things. We got out this really interesting campaign, digital campaign, in which we were talking about racism, and sometimes with our own language, very like easygoing language. We, without knowing, because this is culturally, this comes from maybe from when the Spanish were here, certain words that we use on an everyday basis, and we're actually being really disrespectful towards Black Colombians and our indigenous society or indigenous population. So we were co-creating these sessions, and with a special care and careful, just basically in keywords, we were saying, hey, we use this word. That was shocking to see, actually, because it's like, oh my God, am I being racist? I use these words every day, and maybe we're being very disrespectful. So it was a very, very powerful campaign, which we got a lot of hits online, we got a lot of comments. And again, it's how we can actually co-create our language, and how can we actually change our ways to get people to include absolutely everyone into our society. One campaign that will be releasing very soon is about the macho culture. We in Latin America, they still have that patriarchal and macho culture very inside us, even without knowing. Again, we can, with words, with behaviors, we are being really disrespectful towards women. So this is one of the campaigns that will be being released early next year, and how we can actually debate about the macho culture, and especially as men, to really be educated, because a lot of this is about education. Okay, so another aspect that we have been working on is tourism. Okay, so we have been supporting and showing in our social media sustainable tourism, and this is something that we're going to be doing from next year, training entrepreneurs in the tourism sector to become innovators, but also to become more sustainable. Yes, so we're part of this movement who believe in change. And again, if you're gonna go somewhere, we as tourists, and also the towns and the owners of tourism businesses, how we can actually all get together and co-create new processes, new programs, in which obviously there is a source of economic income, but also how we can actually make it more sustainable. And that's one thing that we have been doing. In terms of culture as well, we have been working to, especially to show and to really feel and make important our artisans. One thing that we feel is that, all of this is very important for the future. Take into account our artisans, our local entrepreneurs, and how we can actually support them. And hopefully as well, give this they're creative anyway, they're creative enough, they're very good, but also they feel, I feel that they still lack a little bit of knowledge when it comes to innovation, and we're hoping to educate our people in terms of innovation. Um, so we have economy, again, we will supporting local partners and how we can actually get funding for, for more entrepreneurs, and how we can actually, kind of like spark that economic development. So just to finish, we feel, and it's very important, again, as change makers, of people that feel that we want to add value, how we can actually empower communities through digital activism. I think it's a very, very an important way to do it. I'll invite all of you, if you ever want to be part of Colectivo Creando, especially with the digital forums that we're doing, because we are, in terms of the TV, when we connect with the TV producer, we are arriving to minimum 250,000 homes. And when we do Facebook Live, we get a lot of views, 2,000, 3,000 views. So we're reaching a lot of people. So I just feel that COVID is a problem, but also we can take it as an opportunity. And this is what Project Colombia has done with Colectivo Creando and all of the people that have been with us. Just one sec, I'm about to finish. So I just want to thank all of you. I'm gonna send our social media for you to have a look at. Our website and our Instagram and Facebook. Actually, yesterday, I was traveling yesterday because Saturday and Sunday we were doing muralism. So how can we actually, with children, we're doing muralism with children and people from the community. So we co-created the design and how we can actually empower communities through art. And if you see our latest publication in digital, in social media, especially in Facebook and Instagram, we will have a concierto navideño, which translates into a Christmas concert. So we will be showing local artists. We're gonna show the world that Colombia is a country full of opportunities, and we are very optimistic of what's coming in 2021. Thank you so much. I appreciate all your attention, and I wish you all a happy Christmas, festivities, and whatever you need. I'm here in Bogota, Colombia, Nelson Reyes, whatever you need in terms of innovation and digital activism. Thank you so much for the invitation, ISPIM and Ian, and you can count on me whatever you do.